Up next is this batch of 4 freight cars. This first car here is obviously a caboose. This is a Williams, Pennsylvania brass M5C caboose. I got this to go with an engine that I'll be showing you in a moment. I got this instead of the Lionel brass caboose because the Lionel one is very expensive. While it is nice, it is again very expensive, and I decided this one has smoke just like the Lionel one, looks pretty much the same, but was at a cheaper price, so I decided to get it instead of the Lionel one. And anything Williams, in my opinion, is a great deal because Williams made and makes very nice trains, and this was just from the original Williams, so I definitely like it, and I'm glad that I got it. This Burlington Northern Hopper is from right-of-way trains like that signal I just showed you earlier. I have some Burlington Northern Hoppers, and this will just add to my little consist of them. I have the same right-of-way ones as this one, so I decided to get another one. This car here is actually not mine. This, again, is my dad's. It's a Lionel Trains and Truckin' boxcar, and he thought the truck and the train and just the overall appearance of this car was very cool, so he decided to get it. And it's a pretty cool car. It's nothing special, it's just 027, but overall has a good look. Now this car here is a Lionel Century Club boxcar. This was given out to members of the Century Club. It was only given to them. And I actually have some Century Club engines, so I decided I'd get this to go with some of them. It's not for any engine in particular, it's just a Century Club boxcar. It's very cool, has this cool faded blue paint job on the side, has the Century Club logo and all the spotlights and all that. So it's a very cool car, and I am glad that I got it. So now let me roll all this up, and you can just get one last look at all these cars. Overall, this little batch was a very good, all of them are very good. This has die-cast sprung trucks, and the others have plastics, except overall they are all nice cars, and I got them for a good price. So now let me move on to the next thing I got. So this next batch of trains is kind of an interesting story. I met a gentleman my first year going to York, and his name is Mr. Bob. I bought my right-of-way transformers from him and my Santa Fe ABA set from him. And ever since I bought that first Santa Fe ABA set from him, I've become great friends with him and his brother, Mr. Sidney. The other gentleman's name is Mr. Bob, and he and his brother, Mr. Sidney, are just great people. It's fun talking with them at the train shows, and I like buying trains from them. At the end of the show, I helped them pack up their booth in the Silver Hall. They have a very long table and a lot of trains, so I decided I'd help them clean it up because there's just a lot to take out of the hall after the show ends. And since I've bought a lot of stuff from him and I helped him clean up the booth, he decided he'd give me some of the stuff that you see in front of me. And to clarify something, some of the stuff has issues. Not all of it is in perfect condition. Like, for instance, this car right here has some paint issues. The Amtrak Genesis engine over there, the front coupler on that has some issues. And some of the stuff was very dirty. I've cleaned some of it since I got it. And so he decided to give me it because he could not sell it, or it was just not in good enough condition for him to want to sell it. So he decided to give me it as kind of a gift. And but I also bought some other stuff from him, which I'll be showing you in a minute. But he decided to give me this stuff. The first item here is a Rio Grande Weaver covered hopper. It's a very nice car, but it is a bit light. The next car is a Lionel flat car with timber. Behind that is a Lionel Amtrak GG1. It has 2 Pullman motors in it, and it has no horn or anything, but it's a very nice engine nonetheless. Behind it is that MTH Amtrak Genesis that I was talking about. It has the coupler issue. The front coupler is broken, so I will have to buy a new proto coupler for it. It has PS1 So it's an earlier engine from MTH, but it runs fine, just has the coupler problem. Behind that is a Lehigh Valley 627 switcher. It was very dirty, needed a little bit of cleaning in the motor, but overall was a nice engine. Over here is a Lionel ore car. This car was very dirty, but I've cleaned it up now. It looks a lot better. Here we have a set of Domino Sugar tankers. These are Weaver cars. Very nice. Weaver always makes good cars, and I really love the paint scheme. Behind that is a Lionel Christmas box car. Nice car. It's 027, but it's a nice car. I like the Christmas scheme on it. Over here is a MTH snowplow car. The side flaps swing open, and that's a cool feature. Back here is actually a K-Line Lumber Company flat car. It's a dump car, so it will dump these logs. And then this, let me bring it over to you. This is a Williams Shark Nose B unit. It's in the Santa Fe War Bonnet paint scheme. It has a slight issue. The coupler broke off here, but that's not too big of an issue. I can fix that. And then one other thing is that while it has pickup rollers, it does not have a sound system like it should from the factory. But that's not too big of a deal, and I'll figure out what I can do with it. But for now, I'm just leaving it on the tracks. But anyway, I am very grateful for Mr. Bob and Mr. Sidney for being my friends and for giving me this stuff as a gift. So thank you, and now we'll move on to the next stuff I've got. One thing I forgot to mention from that batch of trains that I got from my friend Mr. Bob was this. This is a K-Line heavyweight box, and he gave me this, and on the inside, it's kind of funny, but it is just the shell of the, here it is, it's just the shell of the K-Line heavyweight. Let me take it out so you can see it better. It is a C&O heavyweight. It does not have the chassis, but I can easily find a chassis because Lionel and K-Line use very similar chassis. And another very cool thing about this is that it even came with the diaphragms that go in between the car. So that's very cool that it even came with those. Let me put this back in the box, but it's just a very nice, good-looking car. And I'm glad that he also gave me this. And now all I have to do to make it runnable is just find a chassis. Let me put this back in the box here. And now what we will do is go look at some more stuff I've got. Up next is a massive locomotive. This is the Lionel S2 Pennsylvania turbine. This is from around 1989, 1990. This is a massive engine. It's around 32 inches long. It has four smoke units, one per stack. It has a very cool sound system for being Rail Sounds 1. Instead of the chugging like you'd expect from a steam engine, it has just the hissing of a turbine, and then it has a cool whistle and a cool bell. It's just a generic Rail Sounds 1 bell and whistle, but it fits this engine very well in my opinion. It has a massive Pullman motor in it. Some people criticize the fact that it has a mechanical E-unit in here, but I don't mind that because lots of my engines have a mechanical E-unit in them. But overall, it's a very nice engine, and at some point I will be doing a review on this, so stay tuned for that. But anyway, this is a nice engine, and I'm glad I got it. One more thing about it is that I did get it from my friend Mr. Bob, and as always, he gives me good deals on trains, and I'm glad that I bought it from him because I knew it was going to be in very good condition. This thing had never been ran. I looked at the pickup rollers. There was no wear on them at all. This engine was brand new, maybe only been opened once or twice, but I'm glad that I got it, and I'm glad that it's in my collection. So now let's move on to the final item that I got at the York Train Show. So here's the final thing I got from the York Train Show. It is a very big set. These are from two different companies. The first thing is a Lionel 2004 TMCC Daylight GS2. And the second thing is passenger cars to go with it. These are Weaver 21-inch aluminum Southern Pacific Daylight passenger cars. I bought these separately at the show. The Daylight has Rail Sounds 5. It has puffing smoke, fan-driven smoke unit. It also has a horn instead of a blowdown, which is kind of a cool feature. But I will be doing a review on this and the cars in the future. The cars are very nice. The paint job is very good. Weaver always does very good paint jobs. And so does the engine. The engine also has a very good paint job. One neat thing about the engine was that it had never been taken out of the box. It was sealed. It had never been opened from the factory. It had been sitting in that box since 2004 and had never been taken out. So this engine is brand new. I'm the first person to run it. So that's a very good thing whenever you buy a train. If you're the first person to run it, it's probably going to work. And obviously it does work, and I'll be running it for you in a minute. But this was on my list at York, and I'm very glad that I got this stuff. It is a very cool looking set as it goes down the tracks. The engine has a very good whistle. The puffing smoke makes this room very, very foggy. It fills the room in just a few minutes, and overall, I just love this set, and I'm glad that I got it. So as you can see from all the stuff I just showed you, I got a lot of stuff at this train show. And now I'm going to talk about my experiences and then wrap up by running some trains around. So as I just said before, as you can see, I got a ton of stuff at the York Train Show. All the stuff I got is in very good condition. All of it works, and I'm glad that I got all of it all. Now let me just talk a little about some of the stuff I saw there, some of my experiences with people, and then I'll wrap up by running these trains that I got around the layout for a little. So first off, again, I'd like to say thank you to my friend Mr. Bob and Mr. Sidney. They are very nice to me whenever I see them, and I'm glad that I keep buying trains from them because they are just very good people. All the other people I bought trains from, including this Daylight here and all the other stuff I showed you, all those people are very nice. They're all friendly. They like seeing people my age in the hobby. And I'm also glad to see kids that are younger, even younger than me, in the hobby as well. All the people that I bought the trains from were very nice, and I'm glad that I got to talk with all the people as well. Another thing that's cool is to talk to the companies. I got to talk to people at Lionel. I got to talk to people at MTH, and then also big dealers. I got to talk to Ken Bianco at Train World, and I also got to talk to some people from some of the other companies. Some of the smaller companies that make accessories and things. I got to talk to the people at Miller Engineering, and I also talked to some people that make bridges and accessories. So it was a very good experience at York this year, or this fall, and I'm hoping that I'll be able to go to the April York show next year. So it was just a good experience overall, and I'm glad that I got all the stuff and did all the stuff while I was there at York. So now I'll wrap up by running all this stuff around for a little.
your home.